Hello everybody! Let's start with a quote from my favorite artist Hans Zimmer. Never let your wife prevent you from buying equipment. A car will not buy a synthesizer, but a synthesizer can buy you a car. That said, you still need to know the basics for synthesis. So let's go! Before we start with a synthesizer, we first need to know some basics about sound. Let's start with the four basic elements of sound: pitch, timbre, volume or amplitude, and time. The pitch is controlled by the oscillator. From a low bass sound to a high frequency, like a kettle with boiling water. A lower pitch equals a lower frequency, and a high pitch equals a higher frequency. Timbre is the harmonics of a sound. The bass frequency with the upper harmonics make up the timbre. There are endless options, but basically timbre is a feel of a sound, and a sound can be sharp like this, round like this, brassy like this, volume or amplitude is the loudness of a sound or a part of that sound. Now we know what sound is, we can use a synthesizer to produce sounds. The three basic elements of a synth are the oscillator, the source of the sound. It controls the frequency and thus the pitch of a sound. The filter that filters out certain frequencies, adjusts the harmonics or timbre, and the amplifier can adjust the volume. The four basic waves that can be generated from the oscillator are a sine wave, a triangle, a sawtooth, a pulse, a square wave. But you can combine them, like for example with an FM synth. An FM synth uses waveforms as modulators. The carrier is modulated with a waveform to get a certain result, like in this image. The four basic filters are: the low pass filter blocks out the high frequencies while the lower frequencies pass. The high pass filter blocks out the low frequencies while the higher frequencies pass. The band pass filter is a combination of those previous two and lets pass the center frequencies. The notch filter is the opposite of a band pass filter. It filters out the center frequencies of a sound. Each of these elements from a synthesizer, the oscillator, the filter, and the amplifier, can be adjusted with an envelope generator. So you'll get a pitch envelope, a filter envelope, a volume envelope. Envelope generators create the dynamic shape of a sound by using ADSR, or attack, decay, sustain, release. In other words, it controls the pitch, filter, or volume over a time period. A common effect on all synthesizers is the LFO. LFO is a low frequency oscillator, and it's so low we can't even hear the frequency, but we use it to modulate the sound itself. For example, you can close and open a high-pass filter with the LFO, so the high frequencies are coming through sometimes rather than all the time. It can be used just like the envelope on all components of a synthesizer, not just the filter.